Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 10 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We had a news piece, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, about this man who was 50-something, 54, 55 years old, and he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And when you listened to the audio clip from him, he didn't sound like there was anything going on. And he explained that he has changed his lifestyle. He engages in brain teasers and puzzles and things that work his brain. He's trying to learn a new language. I think he was trying to learn Spanish. All these things we've heard so much about, and yet as lay people, you know, we sometimes think that we've got the solution to something as serious as dementia or memory loss of some kind, whether it's Alzheimer's or a different type. But I would just like to recommend that if you really, really, really want to get some good information, go to a good book. There is one that we're going to talk about right now. It's called The Better Brain Solution. And I was looking at it on Amazon. It's got some really good reviews. The description on Amazon says, in this step-by-step guide to enhancing cognitive function and fighting and even reversing memory loss, Dr. Stephen Masley, best-selling author of the 30-Day Heart Tune-Up, lays out a 4-pillar diet and lifestyle approach to improving brain health, focusing on food, nutrients, exercise, and stress management. So let's find out what this is about. Dr. Masley's on the phone, and he's got a ton of credentials, but I want to let him talk instead of reading from my sheet here. Dr. Masley, good morning. It's an honor to have you on our show.
Well, good morning. Delighted to be with you.
Yeah, this is one of those mysteries of life, and we think we know how to ward it off, and everybody's got their own fix, but you've kind of laid it all out in the book to make it a little bit easier for us, right?
Well, that's the key. We want to give people simple steps they can take that get a big bang for their buck for doing them. So, you know, it's identifying, in our clinic, we've looked at which factors predict improving brain function and preventing memory loss, and then helping people focus and make those choices.
Can we talk about the word reversing just for a second? Are all memory loss illnesses reversible?
Well, I don't know that all of them are, but most of them are. I think we can prevent up to 70% of Alzheimer's. That some people think we can prevent 90% of dementia.
Wow.
But it really comes down, the earlier we start, the better the results. Obviously, if we wait till 85 years of age, it's not going to be as effective if we start sooner.
Right.
But yeah, the sooner we get started on a lifestyle that makes you feel fantastic, look great, and helps you age better, the better.
Why is it that sometimes we hear about somebody who has absolute 100% recall? The lady who was on the TV show Taxi says she has this. Mm-hmm. I mean, 100%. She can tell you what she was doing on December 30th of 1994. What is that? How is that possible?
Well, there's some exceptional people out there. And, you know, some people have incredible memories and can, line up and give you the names of 30 people in a row. But I'm really focusing on what can the average person do that would literally make them sharper, quicker, process information better, and be more productive on a daily basis.
Okay. Can you give us some freebies, free samples? What can I do today? Should I change what I have for lunch, for example?
Well, for lunch, yeah, I mean, I would want you to make some good choices. So number one is cutting out sugar and flour. That when you eat sugar and flour, your blood sugar rises jump up, and when they do, your insulin goes up, and that literally turns off the function of your brain. We want to give you foods that nourish your brain, like green leafy vegetables, berries and cherries, dark chocolate, tea, extra virgin olive oil, nuts, seafood like wild salmon. When you eat those foods, you're nourishing your brain and you improve your brain function.
We are a very sandwich-centered society. I mean, everywhere you go, there are two pieces of bread with stuff between them. That might be an explanation as to some of our problems, it sounds like.
Well, it is. I mean, anything that is raising blood sugar, it's elevated blood sugar is the number one cause for memory loss. It's the number one cause for heart disease. And it's obviously the number one cause for weight gain. So we can make a really major difference and still eat delicious food if we just know what choices to make.
And you really stress that there is that link between the heart and the brain, and that if there is insulin resistance, there might be a problem with both organs.
Well, that's a really good point. In our clinic, we actually measure, are you growing plaque? And we look at your brain speed. And those people who are, we have hundreds of people who've shrunk their artery plaque by 10%, but those same people's brain function seems to get better as well every year. So you really can. There is what we call neuroplasticity, the ability to transform and change your brain for the better. And we've seen that in our clinic over and over again.
There's one line in the book I wanted to read to you and then ask you if you could elaborate on it. You write this, we now know that it is more effective to limit sugar than to cut back on salt for better blood pressure control. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, sugar causes all sorts of hormonal changes. It doesn't just make you gain weight, but it impacts hundreds of aspects of our metabolism. So, yes, you actually cause increased inflammation, your arteries constrict, and your blood pressure, your blood vessels tighten down. So you really can see a difference. Of the two white powders out there, the more dangerous one is sugar, not salt.
Isn't that interesting? We've heard so much that is bad about salt. I kind of like that. It's kind of like I like the fact that you have chocolate in there because I like chocolate, and I am the salt guy. I put salt on. Maybe you wouldn't approve of how much I use, but I do. I'm a salt guy. So,
you have different steps that you outline in your book also for the better brain.
Well, yeah, we try to, what are the easiest steps you could take first, whether it's food or a supplement? What are the slam dunks that should be easy to do and get a big bang for your buck? Take a good quality multivitamin. Make sure you get enough vitamin D and B12. I mean, those are easy things. And then additional steps for those people who might have early memory loss or other problems would be, what other additional steps should you take? So I try to prioritize it in the Better Brain Solution with what are the most important first steps, but then additional steps for those people who are still concerned.
Dr. Stephen Masley is our guest. His book is called The Better Brain Solution. And Doctor, the phone has been ringing. Do you want to take a call? I'll take one.
Sure.
I'll just pick one at random. Good morning. You're on the air with Dr. Masley.
Yes, thank you. I had read and had heard that it is true that alcohol consumption kills brain cells. Is there any truth to that?
Well, there's definitely concern that excess alcohol is damaging to your brain. It basically pickles your brain, so to speak. But the data from multiple studies shows if you can have one serving of red wine a day, it improves your blood sugar control. Those pigments in the wine are beneficial. I think there's health benefit from it. But half of people are unable to limit themselves to one serving a day. So it's either, and there's a lot of people out there who shouldn't drink for good reason. They can't contain it. So if you can have one glass of red wine with dinner, I think that's great. And if you're the type of person who's going to drink in excess, then I would say, well, just don't drink at all.
I have a copy of the book. If you would like it, give me a call. I'll set it aside for you. I'll pick a caller at random. The rest of us have to go buy it. I found it on Amazon. Do you have a different website you want to recommend?
Well, the book's available wherever books are sold. Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, but they could also visit my website, drmasley.com, drmasley.com, because I have free blogs and recipes and postings that help people turn back the clock on aging.
Can I squeeze in one last question? If this lifestyle and diet recommendations help our brain, does it also help our complete nervous system?
It's good for the whole body, absolutely. You can help transform your life on these recommendations.
Wow! So it might actually benefit not just the cognitive parts of us, but the, I don't know, maybe the Parkinson's.
Your heart, your bones, your skin, everything's get better when you take the right steps.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Doctor. Good luck with the book, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Votes are expected today in the House on a plan to end the partial government shutdown, but with no money for a southern border wall. So Senate Republicans in the White House say that's going nowhere. And the president says about the shutdown,